This question comes from, well, nobody. Because if humans suddenly needed 10 times more oxygen, none of us would be alive long enough to ask it. So let's ask it anyway. What if, overnight, every human being on Earth suddenly required 10 times more oxygen to survive? Not more food, not more sleep, not more coffee, just oxygen. Let's find out what happens, starting with the good news. There is no good news. Section 1. The first 30 seconds. Humans normally use about 550 liters of oxygen per day. If that suddenly becomes 5,500 liters, your lungs are now trying to inhale more oxygen per minute than a scuba diver hyperventilating in a hurricane. The first thing you feel is lightheadedness, then panic, then the deep philosophical realization that biology has betrayed you. Even if you breathe as fast as humanly possible, you cannot inhale 10 times more oxygen. Your lungs simply don't have enough surface area, unless you unfold them like a paper origami and wear them as a cape. Within 30 seconds, almost every human is clinically hypoxic. In other words, you're suffocating in an atmosphere that used to work perfectly fine yesterday. Section 2. The air becomes the enemy. You might think, okay, just breathe faster. Sure, you can try, but here's the science problem. To get 10 times more oxygen, you'd need 10 times more air. That means breathing like a vacuum cleaner set to rage mode, but your throat, lungs, and rib cage physically can't do that. Even Olympic swimmers can't get anywhere close. Your body starts pulling emergency tricks. Heart rate skyrockets. Blood pressure spikes. Your brain reroutes oxygen use by shutting down non-essential functions, like math and optimism. People collapse within 1 to 3 minutes, same as drowning. It's basically a global, everybody suddenly ran a marathon without training moment. Section 3. Cities become death zones. Oxygen levels at sea level are higher than oxygen at high altitudes. So if you live in Denver, Mexico City, Addis Ababa, La Paz, the Himalayas, a tall building, a second-floor apartment, a chair slightly above floor level, you're in even worse shape. Everyone rushes downhill. Roads choke. People trample. It's like Black Friday, but instead of TVs, they're fighting for air molecules. But even at sea level, the atmosphere still doesn't have enough oxygen for our new requirement. Section 4. Nature responds badly. Humans already use about 5% of the oxygen they breathe. Now we need 50%. That means every exhale is a lung-powered vacuum attack on the air around you. Basically, humans become walking oxygen black holes. But plants? Plants cannot suddenly photosynthesize 10 times faster just because you're needy. Trees don't care about your problems. Grass doesn't negotiate. The Amazon rainforest is not going to say, "Oh wow, humans are suffocating. Quick, everyone, photosynthesis over time." No. Instead, the Earth's oxygen concentration starts dropping from overuse. Within hours, oxygen in crowded cities dips from 21% toward 15%, a level normally found at 8,000 feet elevation. Everyone is now living on Mount Everest, without the scenery. Section 5. Civilization breaks. Hospitals become the front line. Oxygen tanks and ventilators work, but only for minutes, because each person is gobbling a tank like it's a Capri Sun. Oxygen generators, industrial supplies, anything that can produce pure oxygen, gone instantly. Firefighters? They run out of oxygen tanks before reaching a burning building. With lower atmospheric oxygen, fires burn less, but humans burn more calories trying to stay conscious. Airplanes grounded, athletes faint. Elevators become tiny enclosed panic boxes. Doctors are forced to triage based on proximity to oxygen machines, and then those run out too. Section 6. The Earth's new oxygen elite. There is one group who survives longer: divers and mountaineers. Not because they're tough, but because they have access to giant tanks of compressed oxygen. Scuba centers become humanity's final oxygen bars. The last functioning humans sit in underwater gear, breathing through regulators, looking like confused goldfish. If anyone survives more than 24 hours, it's because they literally live inside industrial oxygen supply facilities. Section 7. Long-term effects, if anyone was left. Let's imagine somehow humans adapt to the oxygen shortage. If we could magically breathe enough air. 1. Your voice becomes high and squeaky, because high oxygen inflames your vocal cords. 2. Your skin ages faster. Pure oxygen makes your cells generate free radicals, essentially rusting you from the inside. 3. Everything becomes highly flammable. 10 times more oxygen plus 1 spark equals global barbecue. 4. Your blood literally turns toxic. Oxygen poisoning is real, astronomical. astronauts know this. Section 8. The final breath. Even with emergency adaptation, oxygen consumption outpaces Earth's ability to replenish it. The atmosphere becomes depleted. Humanity, as a species, is gone. Animals that rely on oxygen die off too. Plants survive, but sulk disapprovingly. The Earth resets, and microbial life takes over again. Congratulations, humans lose to bacteria once more. Conclusion. So what would happen if humans suddenly needed 10 times more oxygen? We suffocate in minutes. Civilizations collapse in hours. The atmosphere changes in days, and the planet goes back to default settings. Moral of the story? Be grateful your lungs aren't hungrier. And maybe thank a tree today. Just not too close. It doesn't want a hug. It wants sunlight.